Good evening, guys. My name is Raj Kiran. I am super excited to be here. On behalf of School of AI, we welcome you to our day 2 of Python study group. During the last couple of days, we got some good feedback from you guys. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your valuable comments. Before we jump into today's content, let us have an overview of what we have learned during the last week. Python has become one of the most popular programming languages in the world. Python is designed to be highly readable. Some of the features of Python are it is easy to learn, easy to maintain, scalable, etc. When looking at disadvantages, we can see that Python is slow when compared to languages like Java. But this will not stop us from using Python. That is why application of Python is spread across almost all domains. From scientific research to game development, we can see contributions of Python. Our course will be entirely focused on Python 3 because it is more efficient than Python 2. In last session, we looked at how to install Python and how to run Python. We will be only using Colab for this entire course as our developing environment. You can get this presentation by going to the following link: tiny.cc slash SoAI hyphen Python hyphen week 1 hyphen 2. I repeat, tiny.cc slash SoAI hyphen Python hyphen week 1 hyphen 2. You can get this presentation by going to the following link. From now onwards, you can start asking any doubt. Use the live session. During the live session, you can use the chat panel in YouTube. We have a team of Python experts ready to clear all your doubts. Once this session is over, you can ask doubts via the Discord channel. We will try to answer all questions as and when we are available. I also have my friend Ashwin here. Together, we will be teaching you the fundamentals of Python, and if time permits, we will also look at the basics of data types. Do not worry if you have missed the last session. I will once again give you an idea to how to use Colab. Now, you can code along with me. Open your browser and search Colab. You will see a site called collab.research.google.com. I repeat, collab.research.google.com. Click on that link. What you are seeing here is the GUI of Colab. I request all of you to go to this site and click on the new Python 3 notebook button next the cancel button. Click on the new Python 3 notebook. Make sure it is Python 3, not Python 2. Click on this button and it will open up a new notebook for you. I will give you an overview on how to use Colab. What you are seeing here is called a notebook. You can rename the notebook by changing the name here. My first program. As you can see here that notebook files end with IPYNB extension, that is IPython notebook. What you are seeing here, this section is called a cell. And there are two types of cell. One is the code cell, the other is the text cell. You can add code cell by clicking in this button. It will add different code cells. This is a portion where you will start typing your Python code. For example, you can type print hi. And in order to run this cell, that is, in order to execute this cell, you need to press Control and Enter. Control and Enter. Now you can see that it is allocating, then connecting, and finally it will connect. Initializing and connected. Once it is connected, your code will run. What you are seeing here is the output of the code print hi. The advantage of notebook is that you can type the code and see the output just below it itself. Now, how can we delete a cell? In order to delete a cell, you can go to the More Action button, which is at the right corner. Click on that button, and now you have a menu. And just click Delete Cell. Now that cell has been deleted. This is how we delete a cell. Now there is no cell at all. In order to create a new cell, as I have mentioned, just click on the Add Code Cell button and it will create a new code cell. That is about the code cell. Now, let us talk about the text cell. What actually is a text cell? The advantage of this notebook is that it also supports Markdown. So you can type Markdown language in this text cell. For example, I can type, hi, I am Rajkiran. And when you click in the other cell, you can see this is not a cell in which you can type code, but it is actually just a text cell. It can be used for all kind of visualization effects. You can also make it as a heading by putting hash, and when you can see in the right side, this is how the actual Markdown will look like. On the right side is what you are having a preview mode, and on the left side you will have an edit mode. So when you click on the cell above, it becomes a heading. You can look up to the different options that is available for you to edit in Markdown languages. Just Google for Markdown sheetbooks, Markdown shortcuts, all those things, and you will get plenty of resources on how to use Markdown. Another thing I would like to point out is that in Tools section, there is an option called Keyboard Shortcuts. Click on that. Now what you are actually seeing here is a list of keyboard shortcuts that is default provided by Colab. So I won't be using, like, in order to create a cell, I won't be going and pressing add code cell. I will be only using shortcuts. For example, in order to create a code cell below, we can go to keyboard shortcuts and see, add a code cell below. Where is it? I'm not seeing it. Add a code cell below. I'm not seeing it, but the shortcut is Control M and B. You can look it up. I'm not seeing it here, but it should be there. Control M and B. Yep, got it. Insert a code cell below. Control M and B. Just click Control M and B to insert code cell. Control M and B to insert code cell. For this entire video, what I would recommend you is to open up like Jupyter Note in one of the side panels and your video in another side, so that you can see the video and start coding along with me. So this is how you should be taking this video till it completes. You should try to code along with me. I will give you time to code. So I request all to open this Colab in a new tab and keep it in one side and see my video on the next panel and please try to code along with me. Only by practice you will remember and learn Python. Okay. Now, that is all about Colab. In today's session, we will be looking at print statements, what is a variable, what is an expression, what are assignment statements, what is multi-line statements, indentation, comments, basics of tokens, how to delete a variable from computer's memory, and so on. I have my friend Ashwin here. So first part will be taken by him. I'm handing over this mic to Ashwin. Ashwin, here you go.
Hi guys, it's Ashwin here. First, I want to introduce you into the basic functionalities of Python. Let us start with the function print. Okay. For printing anything into the screen, you just need to type print. In this parenthesis, you can type any type of data. If you want to print a string, you can type a string into this parenthesis and just execute it. You can see a string is printed. You can also print an integer, just like this. An integer can be print. You can also use it for float number, a fractional number, just like this. Okay. Now, all these are values. A value is a basic unit of data. Okay. This is a value. It's a basic unit of data. A string and an integer are basic unit of data, which is called value. You can assign a variable into a value. You can a variable into value into a variable like this. Here we assign a value into this variable. There are some rules for naming this variable. You cannot name a variable by starting a numerical value. You cannot do like this. It won't work. There is a syntax error, which means you cannot name the variable by starting a numerical value. You can start a new variable's name by underscore. It will work. Yes, like this. Okay. Now you can store any type of value in a variable, just like this. Store the variable here is a. You can store a string into this variable. You can also store an integer into the same variable, but after storing the integer in the same variable, that once the string is stored, but now the variable holds only the string, only the integer. Okay, that's the main advantage of Python. You can use a variable for different types of data. This assignment is called an assignment statement. You can assign multiple values in a single line by use of the semicolon. You can assign a equal to 45, b equal to 12, and c equal to 34 in a single line. It will work. A, b, and c all has been assigned. Okay. Now, how to divide a single line statement into multiple lines? A single print statement string can be divided into multiple lines by the use of this backslash. You can use this backslash for splitting this line into multiple lines. It will still work. You can concatenate as two strings by the use of plus sign. String 1, string 1, 1 minute. String 1 and string 2. And it will return a string which will merge these two strings. Okay. You can also merge multiple strings by the use of %s. String, I will use name is %, yes. You can type like this. You can merge two strings by the use of this %s. Here you can see that these two strings has been merged. In Python, the interpreter has another property. Here you can type any mathematical equation and it will execute or evaluate it. It's called an expression. You can type 3 plus 2 in this interpreter or in this code cell, and when you execute it, it will return the this result of this expression. and you can do anything with it. All these heavy equations will execute as simple as this. Okay, then now we will discuss about the indentation. Okay, when you type a print statement, when you write a print statement like this, it will work. But when you type a tab, or if you give an indentation to the next statement, it will not work, because in Python, indentation has a value. There are no braces in this Python code, so indentation is used for braces. Here you can see there is an indentation error appeared in this code, which means you cannot write Python code like this. Okay, we will discuss about the importance or the use of this indentation in the further classes. Now we just continue with the commenting feature of Python. You can write a comment by this use of this hashtag. Okay, if you type anything after this hashtag, Python interpreter will not execute it. It just ignores it. You can write multiple lines of comments by using this. You can also use a simple technique called as docstring. As docstring is a string that you write between 3 double quotes or 3 single quotes. You can write a docstring inside these 3 quotes. When you execute it, Python will see it as a string, but you can use it for commenting purpose. When you type comment like this and you type a statement under this, the comment will not affect the execution of this statement. Okay. Now we can use it for type multiple lines of comments, just like this. And under that, you can type comment 2 and anything else. Python will execute it, but there will be no problem in the execution of the code because of these comments. Okay, then Raj will take this another session.
Just hold on, guys. 1 minute. Thank you, Ashwin. Now, I hope you have got some basic idea of what is a variable, what is an expression. So, just to add on to some more things. Let me clear this first. Okay. Now we will look at tokens. So, what is a token? Tokens. Tokens are the smallest building blocks of a programming language. It is the smallest unit in Python. There are different types of token like keywords, identifiers, literals, and operators. Let us look at each one of them. What is a keyword? Words that have some predefined meaning or that are already defined in Python languages are called keywords. For example, if you try to type in int and try to run it, right, you will get 0. This is because int is a predefined keyword. Similar to int, there is true, there is false. These are values that are predefined in Python. So what is a keyword? Keyword is a word that is already defined and has a meaning to it. So what is the next token? It is identifier. By an identifier, what it means is that it is just something that you can name in order to identify anything. It can be classes, functions, variables, whatever. The things that you name is called an identifier. A variable is an identifier. If you create a variable name and assign it Raj and try to run it, this name has got no predefined meanings. That is, it is not a keyword. It is something that you created. This is called an identifier. What are literals? Literals are same as identifiers, but its value do not change. In Python, we cannot define constants. There are, but yes, since it is Python, there are other ways we can pick to implement constants. That is, we will define constant in one file and then we will import that constants into another file. We will look at this in further sessions. So, as a basic thing, for constants, the coding style that we will follow is that we will try to use capital letters. For example, pi equal to 3.14. Anything that is in full capital is called a literal or a constant. Now comes operators. Operators are used in expression to evaluate something. 5 plus 3, when you run it, you'll get 8, right? So this plus sign is called an operator. Operators operate upon operands to give some result. So this 5 here is operating upon the operands that are, the operands here are 5 and 3. And it will perform the operation in order to compute the result. What we have got it here as 8. This is how an operator works. There are different kinds of operator which we will look at in the coming classes. That is all about tokens. These are the building blocks that make up the Python language. Keywords, identifiers, literals, and operators. Now, remember this notebook, right? When Ashwin was taking this session, he was using the same notebook. He has declared some variable A, B, C, right? But I have deleted the cell. By deleting this cell, it doesn't mean that that variable is being removed from the memory. When you type A and try to print out the value that is present inside A, we can still see that it holds value 12. When you type B, it holds value 12. This is because it will only delete a value is only deleted if you specify them. So in order to delete a variable, let's clear all this. In order to delete a variable, there is a function called del. I will talk about functions in detail. Just make sure, just for now, just keep in mind, there is a function called del in order to delete a variable. You create a variable name, say it's Manu, and if you print out name, it will obviously print out Manu. But when you delete a variable name, that variable will be deleted from the computer's memory, and you will no longer have the value Manu inside that variable. See, you will get a error. The advantage of this Colab or Jupyter Note is that you can see error just below the code itself. Now what you are seeing is a error called name error. This error occurs because the variable called name has not been defined anywhere. This is occurring now because we have deleted the variable called name. So this is all the fundamentals you need to know about Python. Don't worry if we just rushed. Don't worry, I will repeat all this process once again. But it will be a little faster so that you can have a recap of what we just learned now. Starting off with print statements. Print. You can print anything inside these statements. What you are seeing here is actually a function. Print is actually a function. How did you know it is a function? Print is a function because it ended with parentheses. Anything that ends with parentheses denotes a function. We will discuss about function in the later on session. Now you just know that there is a term called function. So inside this function, you can add anything, any data type. For writing a string, you should make sure that it should be always enclosed in a double quotes or a single quotes. So if you are enclosing if you want to write a string, you need to enclose them in a double quotes. What is actually a string? String is actually just a sequential collection of alphabets or characters. When characters like A, B, C are joined together, they form a data type called as string. So in order to write a string, you either have to enclose that string inside double quotes or single quotes. What I have did here is We'll zoom in a little bit so that it's easy for you. Okay. So what you are seeing here is I am enclosing that in two double quotes. See, and typing in any sequential collection of characters. If you want, you can type in anything. Today, let's say good day, full stop, how are you, etc. To run this cell, as I have mentioned, you can either press Control Enter, it will run this cell. You can press Control Enter. If you want to run this cell and create a new cell immediately, if you want to run a cell and create a new cell immediately, you can press Shift Enter. That is why what I do usually. You can press Shift Enter. See, it will run that code and create a new cell for me. So that every time you don't need to go and keep on pressing this button again and again. All you need to do is run by using Shift Enter. Okay. So this is what a print statement is. You can also type in data types like integer. What is an integer? Integer is a whole number. That is, it does not have a decimal point. They are all natural numbers, like no, all whole numbers. Like sorry, like 50. See, what this print statement does is that it will print the value in the console. If you are writing this code in an .py file, you can see this output in a console. This is how you output something into the display. You can type in 0.0, that is a float, right? That is all about print. Now, what do we mean by a comment? A comment is something that does not run, but it is just written for readability, so that when you are again reading this code, you will understand the code. It is just a means to tell other programmers what one program is trying to do. You can say, I am printing a floating here, a floating number here. See, this gives the user a readability. So this is why we are using comments. There are different ways in which you can use comment, as Ashwin has mentioned, that is single line comment, multi-line comment. You can use 3 single quotes to write your comment, hi, or you can use 3 double quotes to write your comment, hi. These single quotes and three single quotes and double quotes supports multiple line comments. One thing that Ashwin has missed out is that in Python, there is no concept called multi-line comments. So what we are doing is actually a workaround in order to run a multi-line comment. This is actually a string itself. You can actually assign this inside to a variable. If you want to say yes is equal to, okay, I am doing this. So, and if I try to print out s, see, that is actually not a comment at all. That is a string. Whatever we are typing inside a 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes is actually a string. But since Python doesn't have a multi-line string concept, this can also be used in that case. Now, we also discussed about tokens. Right? What are the tokens? Keywords, identifiers, literals, and operators. What is a keyword? A keyword is something that is already defined in Python. Words that is already defined in Python. Like true, false, int, float, etc. You can see that the color also changes. For a normal variable like name, the color is black, right? Right. But for a keyword, you can see a change in color. If you try in like true, see suddenly that color changed. This is because that is a keyword. You can Google it and see the list of keywords available in Python. So this is how you differentiate from a keyword and an identifier. As I have told you, an identifier is a variable itself. Now, to be more clear about variable, it is just a memory location that you have assigned a name. Variable is actually naming a memory location so that you can store in any data type. So when you type name equal to hi, what it is actually doing is storing this string called hi in a memory location in computer, and you have named that memory location as name. If you type ampersand name, let me see what is it. Okay, clear. Okay, that is all about variables. So I hope I have covered all this. What I have told about print statement, variables. Okay, expression. What is an expression? Using variables along with operators will give you an expression. For example, if you type in constant, this 5 is a constant, which is also called as literals, right? 5 plus 10. This becomes an expression. You can also do assign values like a equal to 5, b equal to 10, and then assign like, so see, sum is already a keyword, so we can't use that. Sum of number equal to a plus b. See, and when we try to print out what the content of sum of number, we can see as it as 50. Okay, this is how you do an expression. What is there? We talked about assignment. Okay, what you have done here by using this equal to operator, you are actually assigning the contents from right hand side to the left hand side. Make sure just to you cannot do this a plus b equal to sum of number. See, this is not possible. Syntax error. You cannot do this operation because by default Python assumes assignment operation to happen from right hand side to left hand side. So here what we have tried is to assign a plus b to sum of numbers, right? Which is not possible. But in Max, this will make sense, but in Python, it won't. So you will have to do a plus sum of numbers equal to a plus b. This is how you assign a thing. Multi-line statements that he has explained. Indentation. You will see more about indentation in the coming sessions. Just making sure that here what you are seeing is everything is in the straight line. That is because indentation must be maintained. Unlike C or Python, there is nothing called braces and so and so. So in order to differentiate between statements where it is a nested statement, that is a statement inside statement, all those things, it make use of indentation. So what you are seeing here is that A, B, sum of number, all are in a straight line. Assume you have changed the indentation like this. This will not work. Indentation error. So Python by default assumes everything to be in same intent. Comments I have talked about, keywords how to delete also I have talked about. So that is it, guys. This is the fundamentals of Python. We have looked at print, variables, expressions, assignment statements, multi-line statement, indentation, comments, basics of tokens, delete a variable, and so and so. So what else I do have to say? I think we can start the content of week 2, day 1. I think there is some time. What is the time now? It's only 9:50, right? Okay. I think we can start with string and numbers. Deleting all this just to. Okay. So as I have mentioned, what is a string? Okay, leave that. Let us look at data types. There are different types of data. String is a data. Integer is a data. Floating is a data. Like that, there are different data types available. I will list down the different data types. For example, one is, I will make use of, what I have done now is I just converted this to a text so that you can have a better view. There are different types of data. One is integer, so you can say it as number itself. The second is string. The third is list. So these dictionary, tuples. These sets and these boolean. So these are the different types of data. Numbers, strings, list, dictionaries, tuples, sets, boolean. By studying all this, you will have covered the basics of data types. Today we will be only looking at numbers. So what is a number? Number can again be classified as integer and let me say integer and floating or real numbers. Floating point. See, integers can again be divided as, numbers can again be divided as integers and floating point numbers. What is an integer? Only the difference is that integers are whole numbers and floating point have decimal value. If you type 5, what you are getting here is an integer. When you type 5.0, what you are getting is called a floating point. How can you check the type of a data? You can just type and inside that the value or the variable that you have to check. By running this, you can see that 5 is an int, whereas 5.0 is a float. Now, how can you perform operations in integer or a floating point number? operations on number in number. Okay. You can type 5 plus 3. Now what you are performing here is an addition or summation. So in order to add two numbers, you can use the operator plus. Similarly, you can subtract 5 from 2, like this, 3. Then there is another thing called division. 6 divided by 2 will give you 3. So in order to get a remainder, there is an operator called percentage. Say 5 percentage 2, that is 5 divided by 2, and the remainder, and its remainder, that is 1. This is what we will get. If you are typing like 12, 12 divided by 2, what is the remainder? 0. I hope all of you guys are coding along with me. That is why I am going slow. So 12 percentage 2 will give you the remainder 0. I have talked about addition, subtraction, division, remainder, and say multiplication. 10 into 5. Do you think this statement will work? Actually, no, right? This is how we write in our normal Max language. But in order to do multiplication, we will have to do this, but asterisk, that is star. 10 star 5 would actually perform 10 into 5. So 10 into 5 will give you 50. So this is how you do operations in number. You can use multiple operators and concatenate, that is merging different expression. This is actually an expression, this is an expression, this all are, what you are seeing here is all expressions. So you can actually do like 5 plus 10 into 10 plus 3. Can you guess what will be the answer? One thing I have forgotten to specify is that you can also run this cell by clicking this play button, play like button. You can just click in the play button and this cell will run. Okay, see. So the expected output is this thing. What it has actually done is it has multiplied 10 into 10, and then it has added 5 plus 10 into 10, that is 100, 5 plus 100 plus 3, 5 plus 100 plus 3, and it sums up to 108. So what if you have to do 5 plus 10 first, 10 plus 3 second, and then perform this multiplication? For that, you will have to specify parentheses. See, inside this bracket or inside this parenthesis, whatever you type will be performed first. So what you are seeing here is 5 plus 10 will be first performed, then 10 plus 3 will be performed second, and then the result will be multiplied. When you run this cell, we will get the result. So this is how you concatenate several expressions. What if you have to do like 5 divided by 0? We know that 5 divided by 0 is not possible, right? The same principle will also apply here also. When you do 5 divided by 0, you should get an error. Just run that cell and you can see a 0 division error. We can actually handle all this error by using something called try catch or try except. We will look that in the further session. So just keep in mind, if you try to do 5 divided by 0, it should give you an error. So what will happen if you do 5, which is an integer number, plus a floating number, that is 1.0? What is the expected behavior here? Will you get an, I know the answer would be 6. Will it be an integer 6 or will it be a floating point number 6, that is 6.0? We can see the answer by running the cell. See, what it have done is that it has actually converted the type from integer to float. This is because floating point has higher memory, or it is using more memory than integer. So it always tries to do a upper level type conversion. By upper level, what I means is that from integer, which is a lower level, it will be converting to a float, which is an upper level. So when you try to combine integer and string together, you will get, sorry, integer and floating point together, you will get floating point as result. This is the same principle applies to everything. Division, multiplication, you can see 6 divided by 2.0 will give you same result. You can actually perform like this. 6 divided by, now what happens is that Python will not do type conversions here. This is the beauty of Python. It tries to reduce the effort from the user side in converting one type to another. This is all because of the dynamically typed feature of Python. What we are seeing here is that during runtime, the Python itself will figure out which data type to use. So see, by running, it will print out 3.0. So this is the beauty of Python. That is it about numbers. So we have covered numbers. See, we have looked at how to check the type and operations in numbers. What if you have two expressions assigned in two different variables? Let's say you have to compute area of circle. You know the equation is pi r square. I will define a constant pi called 3.14 and radius radius is equal to 5. So how can I compute the area? It is pi into r into r, that is pi r square. By running this, oh sorry, I have used radius here. You have to use radius. So pi into radius, it will give you the area. When you try to print out the area, you can see the answer. See how simple it is to calculate areas. You can also see that even if 5 was an integer, it has automatically figured out the answer to be float. This is because of the type conversion that I have talked about. So this is how you assign a variable expression into another variable. I think I have covered the basics of numbers, and I hope I have not left out anything. If I have left out anything, don't worry, I will try to cover it in the next lesson. Now let us look at some basics of string. We have looked at all this thing. Now let us look at string. Okay, I will minimize this thing. See, I can minimize this thing by clicking on the drop down arrow. This is only because I have used a text cell here. If you have not used a text cell here, you won't be able to minimize. Strings. Okay. As I have told you, anything that is enclosed in double quotes is called a string. Hello world. This is a string. Okay. You can also type it inside a single quotes. Hello world. See, you can also type it inside three quotes. Hello world. See, you can also type it inside a single quotes. Hello. These are all the different ways in which you can actually create a string data type. You can just enclose this in type and check the type. This str stands for string. Okay, str means string type. Type. See, all this will result in. Wait, just a second. Okay, okay. All this will result in. Oh, not able to move my cursor. What happened? Okay. All these are strings, as I said. So what are the operations that you can perform in string? Operations in string. Okay, let us look at some of the operations. You can actually append or concatenate two strings by using hello followed by a space, and world will give you hello world. This is just to show you, if I remove this space, you won't have a space in between. So that is why I just added a space in there. So it will just create a string like this. This is how it actually works. You can actually append multiple strings. Hello world. Hello world. What's it? Python. Okay. And you can do that you can do that forever. You can actually okay, I remember one thing that I forgot to teach you guys. In the sorry guys, sessions here. Okay. So you can create a variable called a and assign it a value 5. Similarly, you can create a variable b and assign it a value 6, right? What if you have to do this in a single line? A equal to 5 semicolon, b equal to 6. See, this is one way you can also do that same operation. Another way to do is you can simply write a comma b and assign it as 5, comma 6. This is another way to assign the same. What happens here is that the first value will be assigned to the first variable, followed by second value will be assigned to the second variable. Now, what if you have to assign A and A, B, C, D all with value 10? This is how you normally would do it, right? A equal to B 10, A is equal to 10. So this will assign value 10 to all these variables. But this is kind of like a little hard, right? So instead of this, what Python has provided is a new feature called, you can using the feature you can actually do A equal to B equal to C equal to D, and you can actually go on forever and assign them a value 10. See, it will work. Now what you have done here is that it has assigned that value A10 to all these variables. That is something that I left out. Okay, now let's come back to our strings. So sorry guys, to jump in between. I know I will try to avoid as much as jumping as possible, but this is something I thought I just wanted to share to you. Okay, let's come back to string and look at strings. So this is how we concatenate strings. You can like, hello. This is some of the basic operations in string. I think the time is running out. The rest of the 15 minutes, we will take a look at the doubt section. Okay, I think we will touch upon the operations on string on the further classes. Okay, so let us go to an overview what we have just. Fundamentals of Python, we have learned what is print, variable, expression, assignment statements, multi-line, indentation, comments, basics of tokens. And we have also looked at what is a data type. That is, different type of data is actually called a data type. And in that data type, we have looked at numbers. We started by looking at strings, and this string we will be looking at string in detail in the next class. So that is it, guys. Thank you. Thank you for attending this session. I know it is a busy schedule, but I really appreciate your mental course and improve your skill in the field of Python or machine learning, whatever it may be. You have done a great job, guys. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Wait, you can start asking questions. I will have to open my YouTube. Hmm. Wait on. Okay, I have opened the YouTube. Let's see if you have any doubts. I can see 32 people are live. Okay, now can you please start asking questions? For 15 minutes I will be here. 10 to 15 minutes I will be here. You can start asking any questions. Any doubts, guys? Not seeing any questions. Mm, okay. Before I stop, I would like to say that you will be having an assignment in this week. Please make sure to complete the assignment and submit that assignment before the next class. So for those who have stopped the video for now, I will be repeating the same message in the group and the Discord channel. So there will be an assignment provided to you. You can get that thing by going into github.com slash. Okay, this is the link, guys. github.com slash School of AI TVM slash Python study group. Please, for those who have not got the GitHub links, please go to this link, github.com slash School of AI TVM slash Python study group. This is the link where you can get all the notes, slides, assignments, and so on. Just click on the week 1, and here you can see there is an assignment. It's loading up. You just have to complete this assignment. See, this is the assignment you have. You have to complete this assignment and send it to us. How can you? I will also teach you how to open this thing in Colab. So open Colab. In files, go to let me zoom out a little bit. Upload notebook. Go to upload notebook and see there is an option called GitHub. Just copy paste this link, github.com slash School of AI TVM slash Python study group, and paste it here. And click on search. Oh, what has happened? School of AI TVM. Okay. See, you will have an assignment here. Just click in this assignment. Fill out all the assignments. Save a copy in Drive and download the IPython file and send this IPython file across to us. So this is how you will do the assignments. I am seeing some people have asked some of the doubts. Let me check. Grishma Susan. So when we use sum, it appear to be a keyword, right? So what does it do? We use a plus b to find sums, right? So what is the difference between them? Okay. Actually, they both are same. Let me open a new notebook. I will show you. A plus b, oh sorry, let's assign a equal to 5. Leave that. 5 plus 3. It is initializing connected. Okay, 5 plus 3 will give me 8. You can actually type help to see what this does. See, it is a pre-built function. So in order for anything, if you have any doubts in keywords, functions, or all, you can just type help followed by some. Don't know if this is, see, this is because some is not used as this. See, when we type help of some, you can see that it is an iterable. So it only accepts a start value like this. So you cannot perform some like this thing. This and this won't work. Sum is actually a keyword that is being used for summation. So this is the difference between the both of these. And hope I have cleared your doubt. That is the difference between this keyword sum and what we have actually performed. You cannot perform this sum. But how can I explain this sum? Okay, we will look at that in later on. Now, I didn't, what is psychomaniac? I didn't get type when I used type 5.0. Type 5.0 was not working for me. Why? It's working for me. I think you have done somewhere wrong. Type 5.0 should be giving an output like this. Okay. So, is there any more doubts? I will be available for like another 7 minutes. So I'm not seeing any doubt. I hope I have cleared the doubt of psychomaniac and Grishma. Grishma, is your doubt cleared or are you still in doubt? Actually, sum is used for an iterable, like if we have a list, you can sum all those lists together. That is what sum is being used for. Don't worry about that. We will look in the later session when we come into the different types of data types. I will be explaining what the keyword sum actually means. There are actually keywords like len, sum, so and so. So these are some of the key things that are used in iterables, used along with iterables. So that is the difference between sum. Actually, sum is used for summing of different values, but it won't work as the way you think it will work. For that, you will need to have further understanding of iterables and all. Don't worry, I will be explaining that in the later session. Any more doubt, guys? Let me go to the main set. Just Google Colab and is there anyone having doubts? Guys, come on. This is a good choice for asking any doubts. Okay, Ashik, is there any Python book suggestions? Yeah, so I can give you some. What I will do is I will give you some names of the books in the Discord group. You can go in the Discord group I will provide some of the good books that I have read and found out to be good. O'Reilly's books are always good. Python. See, there's plenty of books out here. I will send out the links to you. Not links. The name of the books that is good for Python. It actually depends on who, like some of them really wants to understand the basics of the actual thing, but there are some books that is available for application oriented things. There are plenty of books out there. Most of them are good, but I will share the link. Is there anything? Okay, guys, that's it. Okay, once again, thank you guys, and see you on next class. Okay, guys, bye.